Don't marry her unless you plan to bury her. Don't sweep her off her feet unless you learn how to carry her. I feel like that is so good. I should like press rewind or something like that. Don't marry her unless you plan to bury her. Don't sweep her off her feet unless you learn how to carry her. Show Baraka. It's a great album too. It's called The Narrative. Y'all should definitely check that out. But let me slow down the words real quick before I get into what I gotta say. Don't marry her unless you plan to bury her. That makes sense on the surface, but I'm still gonna explain. Don't marry her unless forever is on your mind. Unless, for better or for worse, is on your mind. Do not marry her unless you plan to bury her forever. Don't sweep her off her feet unless you learn how to carry her. So you know how we come into this thing. I feel like this should work for women too, but I'm gonna stay just on the masculine pronoun of he that sweeps a girl off her feet. You know what I'm saying? Like you come in hot and heavy, doing all the right things, writing the letters, doing this pursuit thing. I used to always have this thing where it's kind of cringy now, but I would ask a girl, I would be like, hey, I want you to write down 5 songs that explained your last relationship. Yeah, from like start to end. And then I want you to write down 5 songs that could describe where we're headed in our relationship. And without fail, the first 5 songs will always be something of excitement, joy, glee, get a little rough in the middle, and then eventually some song where it's like, uh, I don't know, some Fantasia or like JoJo, like get out right now. It's the end of you and me, something like that. Or bye bye bye, or if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. I know you're thinking about it. 'Cause I was thinking about it too. But listen, it was always something of that nature. And then without fail, the songs for us was always like this. I didn't know what would happen. I slipped right on in, wasn't even paying attention. Let's go Fantasia again. Like when I see you, always something of glee, and then something that would describe us being together forever. The truth is, in most of those situations, I would always end up being the first guy eventually. So if they was to rewrite the story, although what they had in mind was something of glee, of something of longevity, of something of protection, I just wasn't. Uh, I wasn't. I wasn't equipped to do it, or maybe I just didn't want to. So today on this episode, I want to talk to you about being emotionally promiscuous. Yeah. I had another word that I wanted to put there, but I was like, hey, for the sake of just universal appeal, I'm going to go with emotionally promiscuous. And trust me, there may be some other people qualified to talk about this, but I am telling you from lived experience, I was definitely an emotionally promiscuous guy. I'm talking about deep promiscuous emotionally. Let me give you a little backdrop. So, I come from a setting where I wasn't just emotionally promiscuous. I was just promiscuous, meaning like sexually promiscuous. Like that was like my aim. And a lot of that was just the environment that I grew up in, the mindset I had, the movies that I watched. It's like, hey, if you could pull girls and you could get girls to eventually become vulnerable enough to actually want to sleep with you, then you're doing well in life. You're winning in life. And now from this perspective, of course, like crazy. But it's also nasty too when you think about it. But anyway, it's sold as this thing that's supposed to bring this ultimate joy, this ultimate like satisfaction. And honestly, for me, it was just empty. And I remember I used to do these poems back in the day, and I remember saying in one of the poems, my spirit would always be screaming no, but my flesh, on the other hand, was screaming yes. So every time I engaged in sexual things, I was always feeling depressed. Yeah, because my spirit was literally like, nah, bro, this ain't it. This ain't it. You know it's not it. But my flesh was like, we gotta do this. We need it. We want it. And it was literally this war and this wrestle between my spirit and my flesh. And the trick is there are things in the moment that feels good to you that leaves you feeling awful afterwards. And that's how you know that it was not in line with what you should have been doing. Like you've been to a buffet. Hopefully you haven't been to one lately, because if you have, no shade, but buffets are kind of nasty. You know, like they kind of nasty. But we all been to a buffet, and in that buffet you're eating, you're eating, it tastes good. You go get some of the chicken, some of the macaroni, go get your little ice cream cone, go get some cookies, put them in a napkin and stuff them in your purse or your pocket. Do not act like I'm the only one that stuffed cookies in my pocket from the buffet. I cannot be the only one. We've all done it. Confess so that you can be healed. But anyway, we've been in that situation where in that moment it felt good, but that feeling of dread that you feel after everything has settled in lets you know that you should have not been so glutton at that buffet. You didn't need that much food, and now the thing that was you were supposed to enjoy actually came back to hunt you and cause you pain. And it's not that the buffet in itself is not enjoyable. It's set to enjoy. It's just that when you do it out of order, there's pain that's associated with it. This is the same thing sexually. And sexual endeavors, sexual sins is so tricky. It's like the one sin that's only a sin in context, right? So it's the one thing that's a sin outside of marriage, but celebrated within marriage. So it's this, but the desire still plays outside of marriage. And I might need to dive into that and do like a study so that I can dive a little deep so that I can give you, instead of just leaving that right there, I would love to dive a little deep for that. But it's the one thing that, hey, if you do it right here, it's a no. If you do it right here, it's a go, right? So it's hard. But in this setting, you can feel how painful it is, especially if you're doing it with multiple partners and over. Like, you can feel that pain. In this setting, if you don't know, I'm going to tell you, on this side is peace. On this side is pain, but on this side is peace. So outside of marriage, pain. Multiple partners, pain. In marriage, peace. It's worth the wait. People don't told you that. I'm gonna tell you again. So that was that season of my life, though. I was very much signing up for the pain, hoping that it would somehow bring me pleasure and peace, but it just didn't. So I came out of that season and the Lord had saved me. I'm talking about saved. Like, I was just radically changed. Like, I went from, and people that knew me, like that knew me for real, they would be like, yo, there's no way this guy is talking about following Jesus. Like, it was that bad. But I really got saved. I'm talking about radical. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm not doing any of these things that I was doing anymore. I am about to change my life. I'm going to totally focus in on Jesus. And with that, I was like, I am not having sex anymore. I'm done. And the funny thing is, at first it was celebratory. Like, yeah, I won. I beat this. Like, I'm going to walk this out. And it wasn't easy, but I was so bent on doing it God's way that it was very celebratory. But this is where I want to get into the meat of the conversation. I begin not right away, but after a while, after being single for a while, and I was single for a while, and I was celibate for a while, and I in what became something that was honoring to God became more like a badge of honor for me. Like I would hold the badge of celibacy as like this win to people, specifically to women. But the problem was, although I had the badge of celibacy, I definitely wasn't there to serve and protect. Not at all. And I knew some of this in real time, but a lot of it was just happening. So hindsight is 2020, so I can talk about it a little more clarity. But in real time, I was just doing it. I didn't really have words for it. But over time, through counsel, through therapy, through just time of healing, you realize like, whoa, like I definitely was holding a badge of celibacy as a way for people to drop them guards, because that's if when an officer walks up to you with a badge, it makes you feel safe. And for women walking up to someone and using the idea of, yeah, I'm waiting for marriage, you'll be amazed how that drops people guard. If you hold that badge, if you knock on their door and be like, purity police, no, 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 purity police, you'll be amazed at what vulnerability a woman would give you to know, because that's what most dudes are coming from. That's what I came from. Like you're coming to take from them. So when they find out and you can say like, yo, I'm wearing the badge of purity, you can drop your guard. It would cause them to drop their guard. But like I said, I wasn't there to serve and protect, because although I didn't want your body physically, want to do anything sensual with you, I was still bent on stealing things from you emotionally. I was still bent on stealing your time, stealing your compliments, stealing your space. Like, to be honest, I'm like, if I'm the cop of purity and holding the badge of purity, I'm probably more like Alonzo in Training Day. I'm definitely a bad cop. Like, literally, like King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
King Kong ain't got.
Trust me, not during that time. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. And if you seen the movie, you would know that he was a cop that was supposed to be serving and protecting. But instead, he was using his position to lie, steal, cheat, manipulate. And I want to say one thing. I want to talk to women first. Like, just in case there's a guy holding the badge of purity, and he might have all intentions to be pure and be celibate. So it's like you got to go in with a pure heart and trust that. But if it begins to look like something else, even if he doesn't know it, it's being used to manipulate, to steal, take the position to give you something, because I didn't want to be, as I first stated, I wanted to sweep you off your feet, but I had no intentions on carrying you at all. Matter of fact, I wanted to sweep you off your feet until you fall, and then normally I was out. And I was out until I needed that emotional connection again, that validation again, that love and support again. And honestly, I should have been seeking Jesus for that. I should have been pressing into the Lord to receive that, but I spent years trying to receive that for a girl. And like I said, if those things are good in context, but if you're not planning on catching the person you sweep off their feet, then you're playing her, him, and you're playing yourself. Don't get me wrong. There is a time of dating. There's a time to pursue. There's a time to get to know someone. But if you're doing that and your intentions begin to shift, or your desire for them begins to shift, then your placement in their life needs to shift too. Probably to the point of actually leaving that space so that they can then know, like, okay, this person has no intentions of being here. The problem occurs when you've already decided, or you already know within your heart, within your mind, that I have no intentions on being here for the long term, and yet you continue to sweep that person off their feet. If you sweep somebody off their feet, this is simple math. They're going to fall. The question is, are you planning to catch them? And catching would consider care. So if I care, I'm going to catch you. Or are you planning on letting them fall? And falling would be conducive to chaos, because that's what's going to happen if you let them fall. And maybe your life continues on. Maybe you're, numb or blind to it. But to them, it results in chaos. So you got to know, hey, this ain't going the way that I want it to go. And I think we should stop right here. Let's stop right here, because I can see you tripping and stumbling a little bit, and I don't want you to fall in love. I don't want you to even fall in deep light for me, because I have no intentions on being there to catch you. Let them go. Let them go. And I feel like the best way to move forward is to just move forward. There's no revelation. Hey, look, this is not working. I thought we were going somewhere. I realized that, you don't wash dishes good. A lot of your cups be smelling like, like old rags. Whatever the case may be, whatever it may be, just tell them that you do not want to be there anymore. And lastly, man, if you find yourself in a cycle, and cycles are things that you can see, like things that have data, because I really believe a lot of people don't realize the trail of chaos that they're causing, and they continue on. So maybe you won't realize it in the moment, but I need you to do a track record and collect your data and ask yourself, how many of these relationships have I been in? How many have I allowed myself to be in that ended up with me falling and then chaos being the result of that? And if it's been 5 and 3 years, 10 and 4, then that would be a telltale sign. The data you collected is that something's wrong. And to fix that, first, go to Jesus. Ask, seek, knock, so that the door of healing can be open. Go to therapy. Get somebody to sit down with you and work some things out from a medical field, from things that may be causing you to act this way. Go to community. Share with your people. Hey, this is what it looked like. Chances are they already know. They already know. Trust me. But here's the key. Here's the key component. With Jesus, with therapy, with community, the secret ingredients is truth and transparency. You have to be honest. You got to open yourself all the way up, let people all the way in to the deep parts of your closet, and that way they can begin to pull some stuff out of you to walk on the road to healing. And I want to keep going with this point, man, but I feel like the point has been made. I do plan on doing a follow-up video just showing and sharing with you guys my journey from coming out of chaos into care, walking through that stage of singleness, and then how it looks in marriage. So I plan on sharing that with you guys. But for this video, I appreciate your ears. I appreciate your time. I plan on dropping a video every Monday. So please like, subscribe if this is content that you feel like you need, if somebody else needs, whatever the case may be. I want to welcome you guys to the herd. This is the Black Sheep TV. No man left behind. I appreciate you guys listening.